Good evening, everyone. It's so lovely to see you online again. And this evening we have the wonderful Katharina Murdoch joining us for our Solas Inspiration Chats. And Michael and I were very lucky to have Katharina down in Solas Healing Cabin on the 2nd of July with her 5D Quantum Bioresonance machine. So Michael, if you'd like to say something, and then Katharina, the floor is yours because people would like to hear all about your machine. We're going up to visit you in August. So we're really looking forward to that too. We're having a great week now going around the country, checking out all these amazing healing modalities. Yes, and you know, as Julie says, we're heading up to Katharina in August. On Wednesday, we were in the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, the new ones that are in Boyle, in Mark and Gary's healing centre. And we're getting to talk to all these people about all these wonderful new healing devices and energy treatments that are available to everybody. And, you know, we're heading towards 5D and we're going to get more and more of them. And they, you know, while different people have different modalities, they all take us to the same space. So, Katharina, would you like to tell us about your wonderful machine and maybe a little bit about you too?
Thanks a lot, Julie and Michael. Very privileged that you asked me to share my Quantum Biofeedback device. So let me introduce myself. I wrote a few things down to keep me on track. So I was born in Switzerland, and then later on I married an Irish man from Belfast. And we had 6 children together, but 4 are alive. So that means I had 2 miscarriages. So, and that has an interesting thing. I meet many clients and they had often 1 miscarriage, 2 miscarriage, and it has something to do with what has been just recently been done too in 2020 to 2023 or 22. Anyway, so I grew up with, we were 6 altogether. My parents were mountain farmers and they didn't have machines. The only thing we had a little small tractor, and that basically we could load things on it, the hay, or we even carried the hay into the shed ourselves up the ladder. And so it was a very arduous life in the Swiss mountains. Switzerland is known as a very beautiful country, which it is, but when you grow up and you work in Switzerland, whether mountain farming or otherwise, it is a different story. It can be just work. When I was 16, now I consider myself a helper, and I helped my parents. And then I became a nurse. I knew with 4 I wanted to be a nurse. I never had a problem with what is my passion. My passion is nursing, helping people. And in those days, you done everything for the patient. But now it has changed totally. You teach the client how to do it themselves. So my first job, it's actually interesting. With 16, I went to the psychiatrist hospital, and in over 55 years, it was very different psychiatry. It was closed unit. I worked in the women's closed unit wards. And even I, as an auxiliary nurse, gave lots of medication out. And even there, medication. People walk around like zombies, and they did in those days. And later, I became a nurse in Zurich, trained the 3 years and then extra year, 4th year to stay and do the practical things. Afterwards, went to London and was a nanny. They only took Swiss nurses, nannies, and stayed there a while. It was my heavenly job. It was fantastic. And then I went to Bible college where I met my husband. 3 years in Bible college in Birkenhead. And so we had a common goal, which was always spirituality, because referring back to my job as a nurse, what do you say to a mother who dies with cancer and has 6 children at home. And I trained in a very prestigious hospital in Zurich, private hospital, still one of the leading hospitals in Zurich. All private doctors, and all those doctors were good in those days. It has changed a lot. But we had like nuns, but they were Protestant nuns, if you know what I mean. It was called Bethany, and I was free nurse. And but we were kind of expected to go to the bedside when we finished our job and maybe read the client or the patients something they wanted to read. Maybe they wanted a poem, but often I read a psalm from the Bible. So that's spirituality was always in my life, but I'm not a religious person.
Okay.
I left the church, the Protestant church, when I was 16, because the church, it probably compared to here is like the Presbyterians, I don't know. The State Church of Switzerland. I left that because they couldn't care less for the mountain people, you know. So anyway, I done nursing, and in 2003 I started on the holistic path. Till then I always was on different things, but in whatever nursing I did, I worked 11 years in a severely, severely, you don't say handicapped anymore, you say disabled people's home.
Disabled, yeah.
Adult people's home. And they literally, I would come in the evening to the ward, and they said, oh, just give him an extra doses because it was really bad today. And I would just wonder, what has happened through the day? I never gave doses of medication ever. No one ever attacked me. And they were just, you know, like when you're in these institutions, you are kind of trapped. They will not want your holistic ways.
Yes.
They have the agenda of the drugs. But I didn't fully understand everything, but now for sure I know. So it's wonderful how I then eventually came across. I did kinesiology also in Zurich. 3 years, and then extra years, done my diploma there, which is using any muscle in your body and doing testing. And there you learn the body will always lead you to your own truth, to your truth. So it's a fantastic way of doing therapy, integrative kinesiology. That's what you would see around.
Yes.
You don't see all around, but that's what I would do. But then when I finished my diploma, I wanted to treat myself, and I treated myself to something very new because I'm nosy, always new modalities. And it was in Avalon outside Athlone. There was a big holistic center with every possible modality in there. And I had a skier treatment. Now, what is skier treatment? It was basically what I'm working on now with a Quantum Biofeedback device. Skier means scientific consciousness interface operational device. Okay. In those days, that was 2011, it was called that. And when Bernadine gave me that treatment, I was just blown away, like with kinesiology. Blown away. I thought, oh, how on earth can she tell me just like that all my years of trauma on a platter? Or how can she do this or that? And I thought, I need it. And since then I acquired it, went to Budapest, where we are always trained. And in between, Budapest is where our device is created. And actually it is a device which is like a box, and it's connected to a computer. And then you have these different sensors, which are they're electrical, they're magnetic band sensors. Okay. And read your body's electric. And there is around your wrists, around your ankles. And then you have 8 senses around your head. So here you have the head harness.
Oh, yes, yeah.
That would be on your forehead. And then basically it analyzes with very fast speed. And then it sends a healing frequency back to the body. And you tune into the body like on a radio station. You have coordinates, and that's how it works. And you can work literally on your physical body, on your mental body, with emotions, whatever. On your physical body means your spinal, your lungs, your liver, your bladder, everything physical, but you can use the mental, and also you can do past lives, which is very interesting. And literally there's no limit to it.
I think we have to stay with you for the weekend now to book in extra sessions, not just one session.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you can do without the neat thing. I learned once in kinesiology a modality which taught you to do everything gently. You never do therapies in a harsh way to shock or to create even more trauma. Some would say go back into the trauma. No, we don't. And this device, the same. It never brings you back into trauma. If you have PTSD or whatever, it will be very gently. Healing always takes place inside out and on a very super conscious, unconscious level. And so the client might say, oh, don't feel anything. No, it wouldn't make sense. But the day or the 2 days afterwards, it suddenly makes all sense. It comes to the surface. So I don't work with the verbal mind, which is a little pea compared to the big potato in your solar plexus. You know, the big brain is actually your solar plexus. So basically that's what I do. I love to work with this device because it has just this spectrum. Kinesiology might work on one thing and clear that, and you have that amazing aha moment, and you do reprogram your cells. But with here, there's billions of cells you probably reprogram, or and the cool thing about this, it has this cybernetic loop. You can never give the client too much or too little, just right, because it has a continually, bit like the 8, the 8. It continually reads your body's electric and then sends those frequencies back into your body, healing frequencies.
Lovely. Yeah, when you were down with us that day in July, the demonstration, there was a group of us in the room and everybody benefited from it. It was amazing. So it wasn't just the individual, but it was the entire group got healing that day, and it was amazing to watch people and to get their reactions.
Definitely.
Yeah, we can put 64 people into a group here, which it's amazing. And coming to think of that, you asked me something about what we have also a healing, earth healing protocol. Yeah. And in that protocol, we have actually, it's called the healing through forgiveness. And forgiving the hurts we perceive as coming from outside is the best way to heal the real root issue. It's basically we have our own. We feel we are separated from God, but we are not. But we think so for millennia. We have thought so, but we are all connected. And when we do a earth healing protocol, it's an amazing thing what we can put into the device, actually.
Yeah.
Just have to drink.
No problem. And when you're doing the earth healing protocol, of course, you use the Ho'oponopono prayer, which we discussed previously. Yes, yeah.
Because you had the privilege to meet Dr. Healing, you were telling us.
You can type in to all my human family and all relationships, past, present, and future. And then we copy paste this in one of those lines in our device. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And then we can add to that a filter. And for example, we can add 5105, which is balance for brain, right and left. Then we can do another matrix number, balance for brain, front to back. Then another one, balance for brain, up and down. And then we can put, say, a crystal in it, crystal energy, soul gate, the heart stone that strengthens healing and purification and balances the brain. The brain is the glow, thinking of the earth healing protocol. And then we could put something in, like from Sunshine Tool Works. It's a lecithin, which is brain function, cellular integrity. We can do Narayani for brain. It's a formula designed for duplication on our devices. Then we can do a flower essence, for example, the Queen of Denmark, which has left brain integration, or quartz, and that is the singing and dancing stone for brain, good for brain, dispels negative feelings, good thought provoker, and it's also a quartz is crystal. So we have crystal energy, flower essences, Narayani, you name it, meridians, acupuncture, and the chakra, everything's there. And
amazing, absolutely amazing.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to put your details in the chat underneath here, and we will recommend people go and visit you. We've had the privilege of listening to your lecture. We're really looking forward to our appointment, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. Garmila Mahagat, and give our regards to Jim. We look forward to seeing him.
Yeah.
Would you like to say anything before we go?
I am so blessed. There's not a day, as long as you can get up in the morning and feel alive, it's a privilege. And to work with something so wonderful and teach people as they come to the session with me, this is also an educator. I can teach them how to heal themselves, and how blessed I am. Really privileged indeed. And I just love to do this kind of, to get up in the morning and do it. I just love it. Very, very privileged.
Yeah, we were very privileged too to have you down in our Solas cabin. You visit with us, and we have other people with different modalities coming as well. So we feel very blessed also to have people like you in our lives.
And thank you so much for sharing your
thank you
and your inspiration. We can tell your passion. You communicated so well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Katharina.
Thank you very much, Katrina. Talk to you soon.